All right, when we're talking about rate of change, we're looking at how much it's changing from X to Y. So rate of change is how much change compared between our X value and our Y value. So we're comparing how much it's changing, taking into account X and Y. Now when you talk about science and dependent versus independent, X and Y, which one's independent? X or Y? X is independent. Independent. So Y is dependent. So then the Y, X is input, independent, input, Y is dependent, it's output. And since it's constant, that means it's going to be consistent. Constant means consistent. A proportional relationship, which is what we're going to spend the next couple weeks on. Proportional relationship. The most important thing about proportions is we're talking about a multiplicative relationship. We're multiplying, and we're multiplying by fractions, which we know is the same as kind of dividing. So it is a multiplicative relationship. A proportional relationship, you're multiplying by something. It's a unit rate. You buy 1 gallon and it's $5. So if you buy 2 gallons, it's $10. And 3 gallons is $15 because we're multiplying. There is a constant rate of change because the unit rate doesn't change. Rate of change. You don't go to the store, ideally, and buy, unless there's a sale. You buy 5 gallons of milk, each one costs the same. If it's constant, if it's proportional. When you go to Albertsons and it's like, but if you buy 10, then the price goes down. Everybody shop at Albertsons when they do the 10 for 10. If you buy 1, it's more expensive. If you buy 10, the price drops. So that's not proportional because it changes. It's got to be constant to be proportional. Now, a graph of a proportional relationship is super easy. It is a straight line because it's constant. If you buy 0 things at the store, how much money do you spend? $0. So it's a straight line and it goes through 0, 0. It goes through the origin 0, 0. And next, a proportion. Last year y'all did proportions. Proportions are 2 ratios that are equal. 2 equal ratios. So if I'm comparing, I don't know, if I buy 1 gallon of milk for $3, how many gallons of milk could I buy for $15?
5.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Remember with proportions, it's cross multiply, divide. Those are the steps for solving a proportion. Cross multiply, divide. Cross multiply, divide. Step 1, step 2. There's also other ways you can look at the horizontal relationship. 3 times 5 is 15. So 1 times 5 is 5. That's a shortcut. Now, for the reason that we're here, all that to say this. Constant of proportionality. The constant of proportionality. Constant of proportionality. We call it K. And it is equal to y divided by x. Now, if I told you how much something cost, and I told you how many I bought, how would you figure out how much each thing was? You divide. And what did we call that yesterday? Unit rate. This is unit rate. Both of these things, constant rate of change and constant of proportionality, they're both just different names for unit rate. Those are the same. It's all the same. Constant rate of change is unit rate. Constant of proportionality is unit rate. So if you had a table, and we know science rules apply, x is on top in a table, y goes on bottom. X is the independent, so this is how many pounds of hamburger meat I'm going to buy, and this is how much money that costs. I don't go into a store and take $20 to the cash register and say, okay, how much hamburger meat can I buy? No. You go pick out hamburger meat and you pay per pound. So if I have 1 pound of hamburger meat, that's going to cost me $4. 2 pounds is $8. 4 pounds would be $16, thank you. 6 pounds would be, and let's do 10 pounds would be
40.
I purposefully jumped around. I don't want you to be comfortable with it going in a pattern, because it's not a rule, it has to. Now, what were you doing to tell me how much money that cost? Multiplying by 4. That is the unit rate. That is also the constant of proportionality, and it's also the constant rate of change. So all of those things, the unit rate was 4. How did you figure that out? How did you know unit rate was 4? You divided. 4 divided by 1. This right here tells you unit rate. Constant rate of change. Constant rate of change. Constant rate of change is the same. So 16 divided by 4 is 4. 8 divided by 2 is 4 divided by 1 is 24 divided by 6 is 4. All of them y divided by x equals 4, which is also constant of proportionality. That's all. It's all the same stuff. It's just going to call it different things. Okay? Good so far? Easy? It's just unit rate. That's really all it is. Somebody in the education department decided we were going to make this complicated by calling it 4 different things, because there's another word for it, and it's all the same. All right, graphing. If I wanted to graph how much hamburger meat I was buying, These do not have to be exact. If I bought 0 pounds, how much money did I spend?
0.
So that's 0, 0. And then 1 pound was 4, and 2 pounds was 8, and 3 pounds would be 12. And the graph is going to look like this. This is a proportional graph. Because it's straight and it goes through 0, 0. Now let's say, what's up?
If it's straight, isn't that like, that's telling you gotta multiply?
Yes, straight means multiply too, yeah. But let's say I go to Costco and buy some hamburger meat. Well, you have to pay $50 to get into Costco. Like you have to have a Costco membership. So it starts here. I could go into Costco and buy no products, and it still cost me $50 just to shop at Costco. But then if I bought something, then it goes up. So this one is straight, but it didn't start at 0, 0. So is this proportional? No. Not proportional. Because it did not go through 0, 0.